Hello everyone, this is Genius Yoshi and today we are building an Iron Mermaid deck. What's that? Well, it's a deck centered around the fan favorite Ariel Whoseit Collector. This fancy card, 3/3, and whenever you play an item, she readies. We'll be playing full playset, and we'll be playing the traditional combo with Eye of the Fates, which can give her more lore whenever she quests, and is also an item, so it's going to trigger Ariel's ability. And when we stack the amount of lore that Ariel can get to 2 or 3 and play a bunch of items, we can quest for a lot and let Ariel carry us to victory. At least that's the game plan. So what is different now that we have Rise of the Floodborn? Well, we've gained a few very powerful cards. One of the main ones, Pawpsicle. It's a cheap cantrip item, so you draw a card, it replaces itself. So it's an improvement over the other items that we have, which were Magic Golden Flower. We're still going to be playing a full playset, as well as Scepter of Arendelle. So not only does it increase the amount of one-drop items that we have, it also gives us a cantrip one. So it replaces itself, so helps us to dig for Ariel. Speaking of digging, we have Mr. Item himself, the Toymaker extraordinaire Hiram Flaversham, who can eat up items to draw 2 cards. So those items that used to just be for the Ariel combo can now be transformed into card advantage. So we have Hiram Flaversham for card advantage. We also have good old Maurice for card advantage. Whenever you play an item, draw a card. So with Maurice for Flaversham, we have very nice options in terms of card draw. With Pawpsicle replacing itself with a card, there are very significant improvements over the previous iteration of the deck. And now we're going to go all in. We're going to go with full playset of Tamatoa. Tamatoa gets +1 for each item in play, and whenever you play him, you can pick up an item from your discard pile back into your hand. Really, we're going all in on items. All in with all the synergies, Ariel, Flaversham, Tamatoa, all the big payoffs. And now, it's pretty significant. 3 nice payoff cards. So the question has always been, what do you do to fill out the remaining item spots? Well, we're going to be playing a full playset of mouse armors. One of Ariel's weaknesses is she just dies to smash and to 3 damage spells. Mouse armor allows you to protect your Ariel from these smash. Also, the metagame right now is all about 2 damage spells. With Let the Storm Rage On and the Teeth Inhibition. They're both removal spells that deal 2 damage to deal with the pesky Maleficent 1-drops or the Pinocchio that quests for 3. That's why these removal spells are there, but they don't deal with Ariel. And if you put a mouse armor on top of her, well, now she resists smash, she resists... Okay, well, mostly smash. And we can leave her... We probably don't want to leave her exerted for combat, if we can. But mouse armor is a cheap item. It's a pretty good item, honestly. So let's include a full playset. And in steel, we can also play some last cannons. I think we're going to be playing... Well, let's go 4 copies for now. We'll trim it down later if we need to. Okay. So, next problem. These are big stuff. We really want to reach 8 ink where we can drop a Tamatoa. Even 9 where we can go Tamatoa, small, pick up an item, like a Pawpsicle, play the Pawpsicle again. Nice, just lots of items, or play Maurice and then play a sequence of items, draw a bunch of cards, play Ariel, Eye of the Fates, play double Eye of the Fates. So we really want to reach that 8, and we want to reach it fast. So we're going to be playing some fast ramp. We're going to be playing the Gramma Talas that help us ramp, and we're going to be playing a 1 jump ahead that helps us ramp. And we're also going to be playing Fishbone Quill that helps us just eat some cards from our hand in order to ramp, and it's an item that we can eat with Flaversham, we can play it to trigger Ariel, we can boost Tamatoa, just fits very nicely with the strategy. And so now we have our 3 ramp spells. One jump ahead is better if you have a nice 2-drop that can sing it. We have the Grammas, but we'd like another one. And Noi fits perfectly with the strategy. So in a lot of cases, Ariel will carry the deck, but can't just get it over the finish line. Well, Noi allows you to quest for 2. Flaversham quest for 1. You can get these extra pips of lore along the way. And Noi has a lot of very nice positive when you have an item in play, resist 1 and a ward. So again, you don't fear these pesky 2 damage burn spells, because, well, 2 toughness plus resist and a ward, which is pretty awesome. So Noi, a nice inclusion in our deck. Now we look, we have a bunch of items. We have some ramp. We have Mr. Flaversham, Maurice, and Tamatoa. So we just need to round up our list a little bit. Maybe add some more items. Let's go with a pair of Maurice Workshop. Whenever you play another item, you may pay 1 to draw a card, just adding to our card draw advantage if we don't draw Flaversham or Maurice or Pawpsicles or combo just all together, which can happen. One inclusion that can be considered maybe instead is Launch, which allows us to have a nice 5 damage removal spell, which is almost to destroy anything for 3. If we want to play some protection. But right now, I'm going all in. All in on the game plan. And let's just wrap our list with a pair of Develop Your Brains. Just allowing us to pick the pieces that we need. A lot of times we have a bit of time on turn 1. If we don't have a Pawpsicle, we just want to develop our brain, keeping the items to just pile up once we have Ariel in play. And that's the list. It's mostly a mono Sapphire deck with the mouse armors and the last cannons, because it's a 1-drop item. And now we have a full 4 1-drop items that we can play to just trigger our stuff. We can eat them for Flaversham. I've talked about the combo pieces. Overall, the list very synergetic and just super wombo combo-ish. If the opponent's coming fast out of the gates, well, we're probably going to lose because we don't have a nice answer for it. We're going to have to race. And if the opponent's playing mid-range and they don't have an answer for what we do, well, hopefully we'll wombo combo and take them out. But there's only one way to find out, and it's to take the deck in action with some games. We are playing against Amber Steel with our Sapphire, Tiny Bits of Steel, Super Wombo Combo deck. It's a pretty nice opening hand. Send away 1 quill, 1 flower. I think the mouse armor for now. Find a Flaversham. Develop your brain. That's alright. That is alright. Hoping for 2-drop on turn 2 so we get to sing 1 jump ahead. It might be worth even casting Develop Your Brain to try and find one. So I'm going to eat... No, actually I won't display that I'm playing Steel yet. I'm going to eat the Magic Golden Flower. Oh wait, no, it was on the splash screen. Never mind. Why don't we find a Gramma Tala? Off of Develop Your Brain. Everyone loves good old Gramma Tala. Telling us stories at bedtime, right before turning into ink. Then we find a second Gramma Tala. This one's going straight into ink without going to the field as an intermediary. And I'll land this Gramma Tala. Opponent lands Cinderella Ballroom Sensation. Alright, we're gonna sing 1 jump ahead. Sing it, Gramma. And we're going to... Do we slow play this? Or do we just ramp like crazy? I think we slow play it. Pawpsicle. Draw a card. Another Gramma. I can still ink something. This is interesting. Do I want to play the second Gramma Tala? Next turn I'm gonna Flaversham, eat Pawpsicle. Yeah, I think I'm gonna ink the Fishbone Quill and play the second Gramma. Being as efficient as possible, trying to ramp up as much as I can. As long as the opponent doesn't bench our Pawpsicle, we should be in good shape. And honestly, you don't want to bench up Pawpsicle. Ariel, spectacular singer. Ours is more of a hoarder of cardboard and other stuff that you find under the sea, although you probably don't want cardboard under the sea. I guess it's more of the steel type items that Ariel's collecting, like this beautiful cannon with a dragon's face on it. Find ourselves a Tamatoa. Well, first things first, we want a Flaversham. So, Master Toymaker, eat that Pawpsicle. Then draw some cards. Fishbone Quill and Maurice. That is tempting. I think I'm going to eat the Fishbone Quill for now. Go and take out the Ballroom Sensation. I mean, the Gramma Talas belong in the ink anyway, so if I can take out a 1-drop with 2 Gramma Talas, it's kind of worth it. I really want to set up a Maurice into last cannon next turn. But with Pawpsicle in the discard, Tamatoa is also a very interesting possibility. So I guess I could just land the cannon so I can eat it with Flaversham, and if the opponent sings a whole new world, we're alright. No, this is turn 4. We are at 7 ink with Flaversham last cannon on turn 4. It's a lot of ramp. And we're about to get into the allotted cards part of our deck. As the opponent lands a Tinkerbell, quests with the singer. Alright, and we're Flaversham. Flaversham, eat that firework. Draws us 2 cards, a Scepter and another last cannon. I do want to be careful about a whole new world. But 8 is the magic number. I don't think we're going to need Maurice. So we're going to ink Maurice and go Ariel, Eye of the Fates. Maybe a missed opportunity here with Flaversham. The quest for 1 more. Then now I really don't want a Benja. No Benja, the Eye of the Fates, please. That would be undesirable. I'd have to send a big bad crab your way. We're very well set up. Opponent sings Be Our Guest. I'm happy with that. Not overly threatening at this point. And we are at the magical number 8, which allows us to Tamatoa. Actually, we can Tamatoa items next turn. With Flaversham, actually. Next turn we have the Fates and go to town on our opponent with a flurry of lore from Ariel. 1 jump ahead. Not exactly what I want, but that's okay. Start questing for 2 with our Whoseit Collector, thanks to the power of Eye of the Fates. Now every time we play an item, we ready her. Let's open up with a Scepter. Ariel readies. Activate the Scepter. Flaversham now has support. Flaversham. Support Ariel. And eat the Scepter. Can also use Ariel for combat if we want. Lots of Ariel combat. We can quest with Ariel for 2. And we've landed another Eye of the Fates. Ready, Ariel. Power her up. Keep on questing for 3 this turn. Now last cannon will ready her. I can cast 1 jump ahead. Just extra lore. And then the question happens. Do we quest for another 3? What's the worst that can happen? Opponent Tinkerbells. Hits Flaversham. Double hit Flaversham. Ping Ariel for 2. Yeah, I think it's worth the quest. As well pass the turn back. Tamatoa is pretty difficult for a steel opponent to remove. Steel Amber doesn't have much. They would need... Well, Tamatoa has 5 power, so they need the world's worst criminal as an answer. Tekka certainly is not. Opponent is going after a Whoseit Collector. The Ariels just have a Mermaid fight. And they both go down, seeing it's the same character fighting itself. Fine Noi. At this point, I think we Tamatoa. Seems like a nice move. Pick up a Pawpsicle. I mean, big crabs love to eat some good, tasty popsicles. Play it, draw card. Find a replacement Tamatoa. Crabalicious. Can also, well, we can Inkanoi. Double Eye of the Fates, so Flaversham quests for a ton. And eat that Pawpsicle. Because we love to play it again and again and again. As we find a few more cards. Find a last cannon. Now let's play it. Let's boost our Tamatoa into the lethal range where Tamatoa can quest for 5. And end the game on the spot. Opponent must take it out. And I'm not sure what the Amber Steel has that can take out Tamatoa. A Lantern isn't going to do it. And we take the game off of Ariel comboing, Flaversham feeding us cards, the Gramma is ramping us, and Tamatoa just grasping the game, clawing our way back. No, we're ahead. We're not clawing anything. Insert a nice crab pun. Let me know in the comments below which crab pun I should have been using. We're playing against the infamous Ruby Amethyst, using our Ariel Hyper Combo Wombo Combo Iron deck. We do find Ariel and Eye of the Fates, which is pretty good, and a few too many items. Let's send 2 back. Find another Eye of the Fates. Don't think I want to telegraph the Eye of the Fates combo yet, so I'm going to ink a Scepter and see what I can find. Find a Pawpsicle. Gramma is also pretty nice here. I think I'd rather have the pop. Let's go for the ink. Let's go for the ink. Gives us a nice turn 2 play. I think we ink the Eye of the Fates, play the Gramma. Yeah, that seems fine. Don't want to let too much time for opponent to set up, because when they're full control mode, we're pretty much toast. So you want to set up our 3/3 Whoseit Collector before then, and go Wombo Combo on our opponent. Snowman comes in, we find a Flaversham. That is a delightful pickup. As we land Gramma Tala. The question is, what do I ink next? This is a beautiful hand to play. But I need ink. what is coming up next? Is there a Madam Min? Probably a Madam Min, right? Maleficent Dragon. If you weren't sure that our opponent was playing control before now, we can be pretty sure now. Seems like a traditional Ruby Amethyst control style list. Right, well, we'll land Fishbone Quill, quest with the Gramma Tala, lying down in front of the snake and hoping that the snake bites, really. As we do have a Fishbone Quill. That's going to allow us to ink more cards if that's what we want. Just put any card from our hand into our ink pool face down. Just eat it. Yeah. Eating cards to the ink pile. Been listening to too many Beat It parodies. There's Eat It from Weird Al and Edict from MTG Remy. Our opponent resolves a Minnie Mouse stylish surfer. As we pick up one jump ahead. Okay, so one jump ahead is the perfect card to eat up with our Fishbone Quill. Do we resolve Ariel or Flaversham now? I think we go Ariel. Buy the extra ink with the Gramma. Going to 5. And that'll be our turn. Pressure is on, opponent. It's funny, we've gained 2 ink, but we didn't use our ink once per turn ability. Fishbone Quill, Gramma Tala, and our Whoseit Collector is looking pretty. We have Eye of the Fates and Magic Golden Flower to begin our wombo combo next turn, assuming that the opponent can't remove our Whoseit Collector. Stylish Surfer goes to quest, so does the Madam Min Snake. Opponent draws 2 cards, hard-casted friends on the other side. I'm happy to see that. Opponent is fishing for an answer. Fishing is the way to go when you're dealing with mermaids and fishes. Find Scepter of Arendelle. It's a nice pickup. I'll quest for 1 with Ariel. Play the eyes. Ready Ariel. Give her plus questing. Drop magic. Oops. Mess up the combo. And pass the turn back to the opponent. That was horrible. Please let me know in the comments that I should be paying more attention to the game so that I can pull off the combo appropriately and not waste 2 lore. Especially in a deck that's a little bit tight like this, where we're going to be getting very close to total ink, and we can't afford to just waste 2 against the top tier deck of the metagame. Shame on you, genius Yoshi, for paying more attention to the commentary than to the gameplay at hand. Well, thankfully, our Whoseit Collector is going to live another turn. This time I'm going to do it properly. Eye of the Fates, quest for 2. Play a Pawpsicle. Draw a card, ready Ariel. Pick up Maurice's Workshop, quest for 2. Play the Workshop. Ariel triggers. I really should have been playing Flaversham, shouldn't I? So now what are my options? Eat the Flaversham off of the Fishbone Quill, play the Scepter, draw 1 off Maurice's Workshop. But Flaversham is just so important in this position. I'll pass. I really think I should have Flaversham. I just wanted to do the combo that I've missed on the previous turn. It's the second mistake. When you make a mistake and it gets in your head that you've made a mistake and you want to overcompensate, it's often when you find yourself a second mistake and put your Ariel vulnerable to a sacrificial card. Lady Tremaine's what I'm expecting, which would be devastating, really. If we're lucky, the opponent will not have removal, and it's going to go with a Merlin Rabbit, and we'll get to fight another day. We're getting a lot of turns with Ariel. This is unusual and plays quite a lot in our favor. Although the opponent's already at 13, we do have to be careful about that. Can Ariel carry us? Did we play anything else? Yeah, we played a Gramma Tala. So it's all in your fins, Ariel. Although she has hands, so I guess. Yeah. Alright. Opponent is thinking what to do with their last pip of ink. Maybe send them a little reminder. Alright. Turn passes back to us. Alright. Let's start with the Eye of the Fates on Ariel and Quest before we forget. Then we can Flay the Scepter, trigger Ariel, trigger Maurice's Workshop, pay 1 to draw 1. Quest for 2. Play Magic Golden Flowers. Pay 1 to draw 1, finding a mouse armor. I'll get to eat one of them. And quest for 2. Play the mouse armor. Ready Ariel. Give her a little bit of armor. Pass the turn back. 1 card in hand. The 6 quests of Ariel. Next turn, 6 ink, Flaversham in hand, the Maurice's Workshop in play, and too many items to count. Okay, 8. But had to count for at least a second there. Opponent's at 7 ink. Still letting our Ariel live, I hope. Opponent goes all the way to 18 and casts Be Prepared to completely wipe out our board because they're afraid of Ariel. Alright. Well, the opponent respects Ariel. Let us eat a Pawpsicle with Mr. Flaversham number 1. Drawing 2 cards, a pair of Pawpsicles. Alright. Do I want to just eat them both? I think I do. Eat a Pawpsicle to the ink. Eat a Pawpsicle to the ink. Play Flaversham number 2. Eat a Magic Golden Flower. Draw 2. Finding mouse armor, another Eye of the Fates. We'll give a bit of armor to one of our Flavershams. Because why not? Should probably highlight Maurice's Workshop. That's been drawing us some cards earlier. Where are you? There you are, Maurice's Workshop. Opponent 17. Thankfully, they couldn't take up the Sorcerer's Spellbook last turn. Although Be Prepared wipes out our Flaversham again. The Spellbook's going to gain them up to 18. Alright, well, we're going to go Armor again. Drawing a card off of Maurice's Workshop. We can Flaversham. Eat a Magic Golden Flower, draw 2. Finding Annoy and Develop Your Brain. Well, we're gonna eat Annoy. Play Annoy. And do I Fishbone away the other fates to play the Developer Brain? Or vice versa, just eat up the Developer Brain. Yeah, I think I want to eat up the Developer Brain. Go to 10 ink. Get our Flaversham a bit of armor and Noi a bit more. This will pass a turn back. It's an interesting setup. Although we'll lose to the Sorcerer's Spellbook, which is quite a shame. We don't have any items removal, as long as the opponent just ticks it up, there's nothing we can do. But this is pretty cool. We're comboing pretty hard. And even though we're playing off the top of our deck, with Maurice's Workshop and Flaversham, we have a lot going on. So we can eat our Scepter, draw 2 cards. Thanks to Mr. Flaversham. Develop our Brain. We can find Ariel, play the Ariel, play another Eye of the Fates, draw 1 off of Maurice's Workshop, so why not? Eat 1 jump ahead, get Noid a quest for 4, give a bunch of armor to Ariel, and scoop. C16. If we would have done the nice quest earlier on, we'd be at 18. And actually, we probably could have played the Eye of the Fates instead of the Ariel and gotten to 19. The game was very close, especially without misplays. And it's just that little Sorcerer's Spellbook that's preventing us from, well, okay, Ursula too, preventing us from taking a victory against a tier 1 deck. The deck did stuff, a lot of stuff, fairly fast, and it was pretty cool. We are playing against Ruby Amethyst, the infamous deck. Can we wombo combo before we get wiped out, out-controlled, and out-card drawn? Actually, I'm not sure if we get our out-card drawn with this game, with this deck. Seems like a good hand. Turn 1 Pawpsicle, turn 2 Noi. Turn 3 Pawpsicle Mouse Armor. I like that. All-star is going to be Pawpsicle. The opponent can't even board wipe the Pawpsicles. So Ink Magic Golden Flower, we have enough healing items, as is. Fled Pawpsicle, find a Gramma. That's another nice option. Especially in the matchup with Madam and Fox. Ooh, nothing from our opponent. This brings the question, do we Gramma Tala or do we Noi? I think we Noi here. It's a bit more annoying for our opponent to deal with. And next turn we're going to be resolving a mouse armor. So Noi is going to get resist 2. 2 Quester, 2 willpower, resist 2. It's a bit of a pest. Almost as pesky as that Minnie Mouse. Alright, we find ourselves a Flaversham. So we're going to eat a Pawpsicle, draw a card. Guess we're going to ink that Scepter. Play the Mouse Armor and go to Quest. And give a little bit of armor to Mr. Noi. Battle of the 2 Questers. As the opponent has the stylish Surfer Mini. Bit of an annoying evasive card, but that's okay. Opponent plays a Merlin Bunny, draws some cards. Well, 1 for now. And we find a Tamatoa. It's a little early for Tamatoa. So I think we're going to ink it for now. Plenty more copies where that one came from. Let's go with Mr. Flaversham. Eat one of our Pawpsicles, draw 2 cards. Ooh, 1 jump ahead. I do like jumping in ink. especially early on like that. Alright, let's do it. Extra ink for extra success, and we'll pass the turn back. 5 to 4 ink, card count 6 to 5. We're in decent shape. Maurice Workshop is interesting here, although not as good with Eye of the Fates. And Madam Fox can still push through our Noi, which is very annoying. But that's what Madam Fox does. She takes down opponent and just beats them to a pulp. I mean, look at that scary hairstyle. Where's Madam Fox? There she is. Look at these scary eyes. You don't want to see that in the woods, right? Can set up a pretty potent aerial turn here. Or we can resolve a Maurice. Question is, do we eat another Pawpsicle for cards? I think we do. Alright, let's eat a Pawpsicle. Draw 2, a Tamatoa, and another Workshop. This is where I don't like the Workshops for their uninkability. I do like myself a Tamatoa. So here do we Maurice? Or do we one jump ahead Eye of the Fates? Or actually one jump ahead Ariel, go to 6, 7. Then we're at ink and we get to double Eye of the Fates with Ariel on the battlefield. That is quite tempting, followed by a Tamatoa. But that requires inking Maurice, which I think's alright. Maurice to the ink. Ariel, one jump ahead. Well, let's protect Ariel. That'll be our turn. I'm leaving Mr. Flaversham out to dry a little bit. That's alright. It is what it is. Do you have removal for Ariel is what it comes down to. And if you do, we're going with the Tamatoa plan. Eventually, you're going to run out of single target big removal spells. Because Ruby Amethyst has shifted more towards the lower curve to deal with the more aggressive decks. And they don't play 50 million Dragonfires anymore. So we're either going to force Be Prepared or Maleficent Dragons. Although if the opponent gets the Maleficent Dragons, we're in trouble. Not gonna lie. There's some Merlin. The goat. That goes in with a Minnie Mouse. Alright, opponent's trying to race us. Ignoring our Flaversham. Find Tamatoa. Nice pickup. Quest with Ariel. Play an Eye of the Fates. Ready Ariel. Quest for 2. Eye of the Fates again, which is going to force me to ink a Tamatoa. Ready Ariel. Give a bit of lore to Mr. Flaversham. Do we eat our mouse armor here? Let's protect Ariel for the turn. I think we eat our mouse armor. Ruby Amethyst doesn't have that many ping for X amount. It's more I blow everything up type of cards. So it's not the best place to have a mouse armor. But having a Scepter of Arendelle with double Eye of the Fates in play? That's good value. With 8 ink, we can go Maurice, Maurice, Scepter, and even have 3 draws. Draw for turn and 2 cards with the Developer Brain. Don't want to land the Tamatoa in case the opponent plays a Be Prepared. Opponent digs for cards. I mean, Ariel at 3. How many quests do we need? We need 12, so 4 quests. We actually have game. opponent must take out our Ariel or we win. And the opponent stepped out. Did we find the perfect counter to Ruby Amethyst? Okay, probably not. Exaggerating a little bit. Nevertheless, this is going to be fun. Oh, and we find another Scepter. Double Eye of the Fates. Quest. Workshop. Ready. Quest for 3. Quest for 3. More workshops. I do not want to pay, but I will ready my Ariel. 17. And we can keep on going. Ready here again, and we still had another Scepter. And we're at 20. A wombo combo time with Ariel. Ruby Amethyst. Didn't even see it coming. Couldn't do anything to stop it. Ariel wins the game. I hope that you've enjoyed this video featuring Ariel, the Whoseit Collector, in the Wombo Combo synergistic deck. Originally I thought that Ariel with Flaversham and Tamatoa and Maurice would be a little too much and it wouldn't work together. But after playing it, they work together very well, and this list is surprisingly consistent at doing its thing. Just comboing out, building lots of ink, getting lots of cards, and then comboing out your opponent. The list fails miserably against hyper-aggressive decks. I didn't show the games, but really, if the opponent goes Lilo, Simba, Pinocchio, Lilo type of line, there's nothing you can do. The deck's just too slow and we don't really have any answers for it. But the deck did well against Ruby Amethyst. And that's something. When you're doing well against some of the tier 1s of the format, the deck also did fairly decently against Amber Steel, which is another high contender in the format. So against these decks that just try to ping for 2, try to control the board with some card advantage, and have thinned out their single target removals into these more late game plays, there's an opportunity to just flood them with your card advantage. Drop an Ariel, combo out, play a Tamatoa, quest for a ton, and the opponent just runs out of answers to these super threats. And it's kind of cool. Pawpsicle, Flaversham add a lot of consistency to the deck. I've been impressed by them, but really they're very good cards. Maurice's Workshop has been a little disappointing. I think maybe just another inkable item would do better, or just maybe that launch, it would have been a better spot, so we have a bit of removal, a bit of counterplay. Maybe we can tweak the list a little bit, thin out a couple of noise, maybe an item or two into other inkable answers to early game pressure, so we can kind of balance the deck and have options against these more aggressive strategies. And otherwise, they're whatever we're inking against the more mainstream mid-rangey decks. So overall, this deck has potential. It's certainly a lot of fun to play. If you want a deck that's fun to wombo combo-y, I highly encourage you to try the Iron Mermaid. A lot of fun, a lot of combo, a lot of card draw, and yeah, it feels different than some of the other decks in the format. I highly recommend it, especially for fun. But if you want to tweak it competitively, there might be a place for it. Maybe as a tier 2, I should probably say reasonably tier 3, but I've had good success with it in my last game, so I'm going to hype it up as tier 2, but tier 3. So it can be a fun deck. It is a fun deck. It can be a somewhat competitive deck, and I've been talking about that for too long. So now's the place where I should tell you to subscribe, like the video, leave a comment. No, that looked like a thumbs down. Leave a second comment that doesn't look like a thumbs down, and enjoy the rest of your day. And I will see you with the next video coming soon.